All righty. So we're starting this show off with a young man from Fife, Alabama. He's leaving Troy, and he's deciding Alabama may be the place. North Carolina may be the place. What is it exactly for me? Do I want the Belichick era? Do I want the DeBoer era? His name is Brody Dalton. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be interesting to see what he can bring to the table because we need tight ends badly. And he's supposed to visit us on Wednesday, and he's going to visit us North Carolina on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm thinking that girlfriend had a little something to do with that. I mean, It's like, I'm sure she's cool. Don't get me wrong, but she can't be that cool to the point where you want to leave Alabama. Come on, man.
No, and I remember Brody in high school, and watching Five. Five did a great job. They've had a great run over the years with tradition in football and winning state championships and that kind of stuff. And it's a great program. If you're not familiar with Five, Five is not far from Fort Payne, Alabama, which is northeast Alabama, just south of Chattanooga. And Five's been a really, really good football school. It's a small school, but they do a really good job coaching them up. And they had a great coach, Coach Stalter. He had some German name, Hofstadler or something like that. And he was a great coach for years and years and years. And I always heard this funny story about him that he was coaching, and it depends on where you're playing and the type of stadium. But Five at that time had just the bleachers where it was nothing underneath, just blank space and all that kind of stuff. And supposedly he was chewing out referees one game, and he got kicked out of the game. Literally got kicked out of the game. And so what he does is he runs behind the stadium and he crawls up underneath the bleachers and he's screaming. There's a fence separating the bleachers from the field and the coaches, and he's screaming, hey, hey, hey. And so players turn around and look, and there he is or whatever. And then he's like, get this, coach. And then so they're tapping on the coaches. So the coaches turn around. And he's like, run the sweep. So he was calling plays underneath the stadium and everything. Now, I heard that was a true story. It's a legend up, because I coached up there at Fort Payne for a period of time, and I always heard that story about Coach Hofstadler, and he was a good coach, won a lot of games. I think he coached there 20 some odd years. So to be honest with you, Fife is a really, really good football town, really good people, and obviously this guy, 6'5", about 250, 270, and has done nothing but performed well for you. Signed with UAB out of high school. Troy played there, and would be a really, really strong addition to the team. And he's local. He's an Alabama guy.
Yeah, I think definitely the Alabama ties, in state is a big reason, for Alabama to pursue him hard. And because according to that X post, his only other visit on the horizon is North Carolina. Like, you would think Alabama would be able to beat out North Carolina for him if they go all out to get him, if they legitimately want him. And there's really not a whole lot of quality tight ends right now in the portal. There's a couple of decent players, but it seems like Dalton would be about the best you're going to get at this point. And Alabama does not have a lot of great tight ends. We got some okay players, but nothing super substantial. So I think that this would be a quality pickup if they decide to go all in for him. And it would definitely help more than it would hurt, I would say.
Yeah, he stayed in state, went to UAB. Then I think he was injured, and then of course transferred to Troy. Another Alabama school, so it would not be surprising if he he's a guy from the state and pretty loyal to the state and from a good rich program history. So it'd be a good move for Alabama to keep some of those hometown guys or home state guys, around.
Agree, because I mean, if he was to go to Alabama, it would be huge for him. Like, especially for the 2026 NFL draft, when they come calling, they're gonna. There's always that one team that needs a draft steal at tight end.
Yeah,
He'd be great.
and for being from Fife, I mean, Fife's a great football school. I mean, but guys, I mean, it's small. It's small. And chances of you producing an NBA star, an NFL star from small town is quite remote. It happens. Don't get me wrong, but it would be good for him to be able to when you're old and you wind up back home in Fife, you can say I played for the Tide.
Absolutely.
Run a few from Fife, Alabama to play for the Crimson Tide, and that'd be a little something good to put in your den, your man cave, or wherever you want to put it. Living room, front porch.
There we go. And I'm just kind of looking for to see the famous players in Fife High School, like throughout the history. Coach, you know some players that played there, so it's like let's hear them.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Jackson put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. I can't remember. I just remember Coach Holstadler. I remember that guy. That guy's a legend up there in DeKalb County. I mean, he won a lot of games, a lot of championships. And then, right down the road, just right down the road is Rainsville. That's Jeremy Pruitt territory, Coach Pruitt.
Oh, God.
Rainsville up there, Plainview, it's Plainview High School. They won a lot of games up there with his dad. His dad wound up being the head coach at Fort Payne. And so Jeremy Pruitt, DeKalb County, there's a lot. Now I can tell you all about Fort Payne. We had Eric Turner. He, you remember we were talking about Coach Bill Oliver and the Alabama game against Miami and in the national championship game in the Sugar Bowl. Eric Turner played running back for us up there at Fort Payne, and his senior year, he was all state. He was going great, and Eric, his senior year, it's about, I can't remember, third, fourth, fifth game. We were back there running that little counter tray play. And I think we were playing Scottsboro, and he was running. And then all of a sudden he just went straight down the ground, and everybody knew his knee had torn the ligament or whatever. And he didn't even get to finish his senior year. He'd have been all state, all everything. And even still, Coach Stalling signed him. And he wound up playing defensive back there at Alabama. He was one of the guys rushing Gino Torretta in that championship game. So, yeah, I can tell you a few things, Fort Payne, but I just know Coach Holst. I know somebody's going to call in it or maybe correct me, but Coach Holstadler. I think it's German name.
Well, 5 Adams says, I think we'll be okay at tight end when Edwards comes this summer and Pritchett is healthy. I think both are elite as freshmen. And he says the area we need to improve the most is the O-line run blocking. Could not agree more, 5 Adam. Could not agree more.
Yeah, and this tight end's he's a man beast, and so he'll be, but the good thing with those guys is use them as receivers too. Don't just think, because everybody, well, this guy's in, so they're going to run the ball. No, use him as a receiver. He's caught a lot of footballs in his day.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Mr. Dalton. I would love for him to commit to Alabama. That would be huge, but we'll definitely know more by Wednesday, by the end of the week. And when he does commit, there will be a video from Alabama at the Voice College Football here. Yeah,
that'd be good. I hope that works out for us, number one, and then for him, number two. I think it's a good move, and I think it'd be smart for Alabama to have somebody like that on the team.
Agreed.